I want to talk about cholesterol today because there's so much misinformation out there swirling around about cholesterol. First of all, there's not a single disease that's caused by elevated blood cholesterol or triglycerides. You heard it. There's not a single disease caused by elevated blood cholesterol and triglycerides. The normal blood cholesterol, total blood cholesterol, is 220 to 270. Doctors will say, oh, your blood cholesterol is 240. We got to get you on 3 statin drugs to get it down. No, say no, say no. Absolutely, 220, 270 is normal. Then when you have elevated blood cholesterol, which I would say would be 350 or more, 350 or more, and that's questionable because the Inuits, the Eskimos above the Arctic Circle in North America, have the fewest cardiovascular events of all cultures and races on Earth, and their blood cholesterol ranges from 350 to 500. 98% of their food comes from red meat and fat. They eat nothing but whale meat and whale blubber, walrus meat, walrus blubber, seal meat, seal blubber, bear meat, and bear fat. And their blood cholesterol run from 350 to 500, and they just don't get cardiovascular events. They don't get heart attacks or strokes until they come down to the continental United States and eat like us. So it's not a genetic thing. Well, when you have elevated blood cholesterol, which I really don't get too excited about, you get over 300 to 400 or so. This means you have one of several things, or maybe all of them. You can have low thyroid, hypothyroidism, or early goiter. You can have diabetes, will cause elevated blood cholesterol. And you can also have deficiencies of many different nutrients. And I urge you to get a hold of the book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, to see which ones actually result in elevated blood cholesterol and triglycerides. Now, the actual cholesterol, there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, right? Well, yeah. But, doctors, when they found out that elevated blood cholesterol didn't cause any disease, they had said, well, it's got to be broken down into the good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol. Well, all cholesterol is the same. Good and bad cholesterol is the same. You heard me. Good and bad cholesterol is the same. The difference is there's a percentage of good cholesterol that's been damaged by free radicals from eating fried foods and processed meats with nitrates and nitrites and cooking oils and salad dressings and mayonnaise and fish, canned fish packed in oils. These things result in trans fatty acids, heterocyclic amines, and acrylamides, which damage the good cholesterol, which turns it into the bad cholesterol. It has nothing to do what you're eating. It has to do with, as far as cholesterol sources, it has to do with the damage to the good cholesterol by eating free radical sources, right? Then, what cardiovascular disease caused by elevated blood cholesterol? Nothing. Now, on the other hand, because doctors have talked everybody into lowering their cholesterol by eating cholesterol-restricted diets, by taking statin drugs and Lipitor to lower cholesterol, they've created many diseases, doctor-caused diseases. For instance, Alzheimer's disease is a physician-caused disease. That's right, you heard that one. Alzheimer's disease is a physician-caused disease. 75% of your brain weight is myelin, the white matter of the brain, the fatty insulation material of the brain. And when it goes away, the naked nerve fibers tangle up, and these nerve tangles are one of the diagnostic features of Alzheimer's disease. They short circuit and cause Alzheimer's disease. Well, there's myelin that makes up 75% of your brain weight, extremely important just by sheer volume and its function of insulating the nerve fibers. When it goes away, you get Alzheimer's disease. Well, myelin that makes up 75% of your brain weight is, in fact, almost 100% cholesterol. So you're eating egg beaters instead of eggs. You're eating oils instead of lard and butter and cream. You're eating tofu instead of red meat. You're eating boneless, skinless chicken breast. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to wind up with Alzheimer's disease. You're going to wind up with erectile dysfunction, menopause, and adrenal exhaustion because adrenal glands, ovaries, and testicles produce steroid hormones. They're 85 to 95% by weight cholesterol. It's the raw material for these glands to make their hormones. 85 to 95% by weight are cholesterol. Anybody who gets on a cholesterol-restricted diet is bound to get adrenal exhaustion, menopausal symptoms. They're going to get low T, low testosterone, low sex drive in women, and erectile dysfunction in men. And it's a mess. These are all physician-caused diseases. So anybody who tells you need to lower your cholesterol, when you call me before you decide if you want to lower your cholesterol, just say no. Just say no if they want you to lower your cholesterol because they've caused so much havoc. They've caused so much misery and so much death, pestilence in America and the world for that matter. In fact, 85% of all diagnoses of Alzheimer's disease is diagnosed in America. That's because our doctors are so aggressive in lowering cholesterol. And once they figured that out, the doctors are running around buying up nursing home and hospices like crazy because they're going to get you coming and going. They're going to use you as an ATM machine as long as you're at home. And once you can't care for yourself, your spouse can't take care of you, your kids can't take care of you, your parents can't take care of you, guess what? They put you in a nursing home, and the doctors own the nursing home now. Wow. And so it's up to you to supplement properly, take all known essential nutrients, the 90 essential nutrients, the 90 for life, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. I want you to eat 4 to 6 eggs a day. I had 4 eggs for breakfast. I'll eat 4 eggs for dinner. They're all poached. I have a small steak or a hamburger patty with it usually. I'll have a salad, no salad dressings. I'll have a baked sweet potato with butter on it, that kind of stuff. And I take my supplements twice a day. I never fail. I drive people crazy. They say, why do you sit there and eat all those pills, tablets, and capsules and drink all those funny colored liquids? That's because I'm taking in the 90 essential nutrients, optimal amounts, twice a day. Well, stick with us. We're going to be back with more truth, justice, and the FDI Longevity Way on Dead Doctors Don't Lie after these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us?
Well, we thought we'd talk a bit about a CDC report out on C. diff, or better known as clostridium difficile, which, of course, is a bacteria. And they say in this CDC report that while other infections that are commonly spread in healthcare settings are going down in the past decade, the number of people being hospitalized for C. diff has tripled in the past 10 years. Now, that's a report out from the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, so it doesn't look like they're doing their job because they're obviously not preventing anything. According to the CDC, they say C. diff is causing many Americans to suffer and die, about 14,000 people every year. Now, that's more than 3 times what died at the Twin Towers in the terrorist attack. And they say if it can be treated if it's caught early. According to this new report, they say that 94% of all C. diff infections are connected to medical care settings, impacting patients not only in hospitals, nursing homes, doctors' offices, and other outpatient settings. And apparently what's happening is the person goes to the hospital, they contract C. diff, and then they get transferred to the nursing home, and now they're spreading it around at the nursing home because no precautions were taken there to stop the spread of it. They say CDC estimates about 1/4 of them develop the symptoms in a hospital. The other 75 get sick at nursing homes, clinics, and doctors' offices. And, of course, the symptoms range from often deadly diarrhea to fever, loss of appetite, nausea, belly pain, tenderness, and death. And they say the spores can actually exist in an environment and survive on surfaces like handrails, bathroom fixtures, and medical equipment for months. Now, if it's tripling and being spread, that means that hospital equipment, handrails, and other things in these hospital settings aren't being cleaned for months, or they're being cleaned so poorly that they don't get it all, I guess is what's going on. They say people currently who are recently taking antibiotics are the most vulnerable for getting sick, according to an epidemiologist, Dr. Clifford McDonald, who actually led this study. Says antibiotics not only destroy bad bacteria, but also the good bacteria that protect you from other infections. They say the example of how it may occur is a patient may go to a doctor with an existing infection like pneumonia, get a prescription for an antibiotic. Now they're vulnerable for C. diff infection for several months. And they say if the patient is in the hospital, comes in contact with a worker who has not properly washed their hands or touched something that has bacteria on it, they can get exposed to C. diff. And they say they're now vulnerable to be infected, and the now infected patient will likely develop diarrhea, and if he doesn't wash his hands properly, can spread it elsewhere. And they go on to say that of the people that half the infections occur in people under the age of 65, but 90% of the deaths occur in people 65 and older. And it's just really a simple fact of hygiene, Doc. I mean, just washing your hands after you go to the bathroom. I mean, how hard is that to do?
Well, that was discovered in the 1700s by a doctor by the name of Semmelweis, and the other doctors hung him. Actually killed him because they thought they were offended because he was saying their dirty hands cause disease. And he figured it out, and they hung him for it. Doctors haven't changed in 300 years. They're still not washing their hands after they go to the bathroom. And they wear dirty white coats, both men and women, wear white coats covered in pee, poop, blood, pus, gunk of all kinds, snot, mucus from all their patients. They drag it from room to room to room. They're just really filthy little critters. The medical doctors are, both men and women, wear the same shoes, trousers, pantyhose from room to room to room. And the Center for Disease Control came out in, I think it was 1998, and said medical doctors infect 2 million people in hospital settings every year from all different infections, including C. diff. And of those 2 million people who are infected, 90,000 die every year. My belief is if we send all medical doctors to Afghanistan and Iraq, we could win the war because they would kill everybody. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to East Rutherford, New Jersey. And Dennis, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Dennis, you're on the air.
Well, Dr. Wallach, it's a pleasure and an honor to talk to you. And first of all, before I start anything, I just wanted to thank you for giving me a new start in life. Because less than a year ago, I felt and I was told I had maybe had 2 years of life left in my body. Now I was given a new beginning to serve the Lord with all my heart and soul, because I play in nursing homes, and I became like a son to people who don't have music, and I tell them about God's love. I just wanted to just thank you, first of all. But 60 years ago, Dr. Wallach, I had bronchial asthma, and I tried all the medicines the doctors could give me, and I've had it for 60 years. 50 years ago, I started developing an ulcer, and I had that for the next 50 years. 40 years of high blood pressure. After another 40 years went by, I developed high blood pressure, and they gave me 3 different blood pressure medications, along with a water pill to try to get my high blood pressure down, because it was averaging about 190 over 95 with the medication.
Wow.
And my high cholesterol was off the charts, they said. So they had to give me 3 different statins. And so they gave me and the medicine at that time, and they kept adding new ones. And then they gave me a Lipitor 80 milligrams, which was really, really the large one.
Yeah, the
and
big
I've been
gun.
taking that for a long time. And then about 35 years ago, I entered myself into the hospital because I was losing my eyesight. So I was diagnosed there with type 1 diabetes, and they did an A1C, and it said 11.9 at the time, and they started me off with 50 units of insulin per day, type 1 diabetes. I got other opinions. They all said I was type 1. I'm completely not producing any insulin anymore. And over the years, Dr. Wallach, you won't believe this, they kept increasing my dosage because they couldn't get my AC below 8. And they were giving me 220, and they told me I had to go to 250. They were giving me 160 units of Lantus at night because my morning numbers were so high.
That's enough for an elephant.
And they were also giving me 30 units of Humalog with each meal. And at that time, my A1C was 8.7. And what happened? There was a brother, Charlie, and his wife Harriet. I think they call your program once in a while.
Yep.
And he bought me a big crate of a product called Sweeties, and he told me to go on a gluten-free diet. And I told him, "You're crazy." I tried every diet in the world. I tried the Atkins. I tried this one. I've been around a long time, you know. But you know what? They were consistent, and they kept asking me, and they brought me these pills.
Dennis, we got to run to one of those message moments. Hold on there. We'll come back. We'll pick up where we left off. Hang on. We'll pick you up exactly where you left off. We'll be back after these messages. And Doug, we're going right back to New Jersey. And Dennis, let's pick up where you left off.
Hello, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir.
Listen, my brother kept insisting that I try this gluten-free diet, and they were persistent, so I tried it. I said, I'll try it for 7 days only, and if it don't work, I'm stopping. What happened? I took the 5 pills, like he said, and the gluten-free. The first thing that got better was my breathing. I noticed immediate improvement, and I always had to take, and I didn't need all my medication. I had a drawer full of breathing products, some steroid stuff, some instant spray when I got an asthma attack, and pills and things. And I noticed I didn't need that anymore. So I eliminated my pills there by staying on the gluten-free diet. And then remember, I started out weighing about 237 pounds, and now I'm also 6'1", and I started out with a 44-inch waistline, and now I weigh 182 pounds with a 34 waistline. I have no more asthma or allergies. I take no more medicines and no more, listen to this, Dr. Wallach, according to all the doctors, they said I don't take any more insulin. I don't need any more insulin.
So you were not a type 1 diabetic. You're a type 2 diabetic.
I think they misdiagnosed me the whole time.
Well, I know they misdiagnosed you, yeah.
And I went to 3 different doctors, and they all told me type 1. And now, Dr. Wallach, my ulcer has gone away. I had trouble with that for 50 years. My digestive problems have cleared up. My love life had been, if I was very lucky, once a month. Now, every day I'm lucky. And now the only thing I do I have a dozen eggs a day. My doctor told me I could have 1 egg per week and no salt. But I use salt on my eggs.
That's perfect.
I just wanted to tell you that. Now, every day I have the energy, and I can run, I can jump, I can leap like an antelope. I go into nursing homes, I sing like a young cowboy. They tell me it's nice they have a young guy come around here. I'm the same guy that used to come around here. And they think, and now I'm feeling like a spring chicken. My real age is I'm going to be 64, and yet I feel much better than I felt at 18 years old. Less than a year ago, it felt like at the very most I had 2 years of life remaining. Now I feel like I was given a new beginning, a chance to live life in abundance. And I just thank you, and God heard my prayers. I had been praying for 40 years, and I was just waiting on the Lord to lead me, and He led me to you.
Well, it's such a wonderful story. I can't wait to share that with a lot of other people. Let me ask you one question here. How many different doctors had you seen over that 60 years?
How many different doctors?
Yeah.
I would say 40.
40 different doctors?
Yes,
and not
different
one of
doctors, and I had
not one of them
a lot of different hospital stays.
Yeah, and not one of them tripped on to the gluten-free diet and the 90 essential nutrients, did they?
One did it. And all I'm taking now is the gluten-free diet, but I did place an order today. I bought a 4-pack of Ultima Clostridium because my mind's working much sharper and clearer. And I also bought the Ultima Glucogel and the Majestic Earth Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the Majestic Earth Ultima Classic 32-ounce and the Majestic Earth Mineral, Dr. Wallach Majestic Earth Mineral 32-ounce. I'm adding that to my sweeties.
Okay, don't forget the EFA capsules. You need the EFAs or EFA pluses so you don't get a stroke.
Let's head to Richmond, Virginia. And Stephanie, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, hello, Stephanie. You're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. I am one of your reps with FDI Longevity, and I've seen you both times you came to Richmond. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'd like to thank you for giving us the information and the product to go out and change and save lives.
Well, thank you for the kind words, and how can I help you today?
I have a unique to everybody that I've taken her to and to me problem with my mom. She has a burning sensation throughout her body, which is triggered by seasonings on food, topical solutions, smells, herbs, even minerals. She said it starts at the bottom of her feet and just goes up. And she said she's been experiencing this for 40 years, and it's just gradually getting worse. I give her minerals, but I give her like a teaspoon a day.
Sure. What does she weigh?
She weighs 165.
Okay. Now, there's two possibilities here. Number one, has she ever had a CAT scan or an MRI of her head?
Yes.
Okay, and did they find any MS or anything like that, multiple sclerosis in there?
No, they didn't. But unfortunately, how about that burns her when she has a CAT scan? but no, they didn't find anything. They never said MS. They did at one time say possibly lupus. But she didn't believe it, and she never went back to the doctor.
Okay. Now, how much has your mom shrunk since she was 20 years old?
That is a good question. She has severe scoliosis.
I bet she's
5'7" when I was born, and now she's about 5'2".
Okay, so she shrunk at least 5 inches, hasn't she?
Yes.
I believe she has degenerative disc disease. She has terrible peripheral neuropathies all over her body, resulting in this burning and numbness all over her body. And so what I want her to do is go on a gluten-free diet. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. No gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, or oats. No fried foods of any kind, zero tolerance for fried foods. No processed meats with nitrates and nitrites, zero tolerance, no exceptions. No oils, no margarines, no mayonnaise, no salad dressings, no cooking oils. And if she's going to eat canned fish, such as tuna, salmon, sardines, they have to be packed in water or mustard or tomato sauce. They cannot be packed in any oil. Now, for 145 to 165 pounds, I'd have her take 2 Healthy Start packs per month. That's 1 serving of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine Nutri-Crystals at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner. Now, if that makes her feel funny, then I want her to cut that in half. I want her to take 4 quarter doses a day. A quarter dose at breakfast, a quarter dose at lunch, a quarter dose at dinner, and a quarter dose at bedtime. That'll require 2 Healthy Start packs a month to pull that off. I also want her to have what we call glucogel. I want her to take 15 a day, 5 at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's 2 large 240-count bottles a month. That's to support and promote maintenance and repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone matrix, bone itself. And again, if she's concerned about 5 3 times a day, have her take 3 4 times a day, or 4 3 times a day. She's got to get at least 12 to 14 of these glucogel capsules in her every day, the 2 large bottles a month. Then I would have her take the Cell Shield RTQ. I want her to take 8 to 10 of those capsules a day. Again, she could take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner, and 4 at bedtime, a glass of water. And this is to support and promote her immune system, to reduce inflammation in her body, and so on. Where she has pain or discomfort or restricted motion in her joints, she can use our CM cream topically on those joints or muscle groups, tendons, ligaments, anywhere in her body she feels pain or discomfort or restricted motion. And you'll find that she will get better because she does have peripheral neuropathy. When you said burning and numbness in her feet, working up her legs, this is what's causing all the burness and numbing in her body. This can cause a irregular bladder, an irritable bladder. This can cause atrial fibrillation, irregular heartbeat, rapid heartbeat, or slow heartbeat. This can cause digestive problems. But she needs to get on a gluten-free diet, no wheat, barley, rye, or oats. She needs to supplement properly. She'll actually has the potential to grow back anywhere from a ½ inch to 3 inches. And it's an amazing thing. As those discs get thicker between her vertebrae, push the vertebrae apart, take the pressure off the roots of these spinal nerves, these symptoms will all go away. There's no way to tell if it's going to start at the neck and work down, start in the middle and move up and down, or start at the feet and move up. There's no way to tell where it's going to start. But make a list of all her complaints, go through from the top of her head down to her toes, ask her about pain and discomfort, restricted motion, itching, all that kind of stuff, and then go through that list every 2 weeks. And you're going to find miracles are going to happen here. Okay, call me every 2 weeks. You're welcome to call more frequently, Stephanie, but don't wait longer than 2 weeks. We'll walk you guys through this. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Baltimore, Maryland. Ed Floride, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Floride, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Dr. Wallach, and thank you so much for taking my call.
Yes, ma'am.
I have purchased the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack.
Okay.
And I have used it over a week, and I noticed my blood sugar going up, and it did not appear to be going down. And I really think perhaps I just didn't know when to take or how to take these procedures, and I'm wondering if you could help me with that.
Yes. Okay, well, first of all, when you take the liquid, you want to take them in water. Do not take them in juice. You want to actually give up gluten, no wheat, barley, rye, or oats, to assure optimal absorption. no wheat, barley, rye, or oats, no carbohydrates, no breads, no muffins, no crackers, no pancakes, waffles, no cereals, no oatmeal, no pasta. You got to watch it because there's wheat used to thicken tomato soup, something you think is pretty innocent. Tomato soup, how can that be bad? Well, they thicken it with wheat flour. Same way with gravies. Same way with meatloaf. They put cracker crumbs or breadcrumbs in meatloaf. There is gluten everywhere. It's in soy sauce that you put on your Chinese vegetables or rice. They actually mix wheat flour with rice. When you go to a restaurant, it kind of browns it, makes it look nice rather than just white rice. It makes white rice look brown when they put wheat flour with it. So they use wheat flour for everything. They use it on whitefish to brown it. They use it in sauces and rubs they put on meat. And so you got to watch it, ask questions. When I go out to eat, I eat poached eggs and a steak or a ham, a medium rare. I don't put anything on it, and salads without any dressings and stuff because there's wheat in everything, including salad dressings. And so you have to, again, be extremely careful. No sugars, no juices, no fruit. Even things like squash and zucchini. If you eat squash and zucchini before bed, you're going to have a high blood sugar in the morning. And so it's imperative that you stay away from those kind of things. Okay?
Yeah. Is there a special time during the day when you would take these? Because I still have the medications that I have to take, the Actos, the metformin, because I am a diabetic, and just knowing when to take them.
Well, what you want to do is take them with meals. You take the nutrients with meals for maximum absorption, but it's imperative to stay away from all the bad stuff. Even processed meats are loaded with sugar. They have wheat in them. Processed meats have wheat in them and sugar. Got to give all that stuff up. And call me in 2 weeks and let me know how it's going. But if you're doing everything right, you're on a gluten-free diet, your blood sugar will come down. If it's going up, you have a source of sugar somewhere. We'll be back after these messages. We're back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for FDI Longevity and the 90 for Life Crusade. And Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Pennsylvania. And Marge, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Oh, Marge, you're on the air.
Thanks for taking my call, Doc. I have a question about the Blooming Minerals product.
Okay.
Could you please tell us how to use the plant revitalizer and soil revitalizer in homes, greenhouses, and agriculture fields, and what kind of results people are getting?
Okay. Well, first of all, the Blooming Minerals is the original raw materials that we get our plant minerals from. They contain 77 certified organic plant minerals. I can tell you from personal experience that you can get beefsteak tomatoes that are 14 to 16 ounces each. You can get 40 to 50 to 100 tomatoes per plant. The vines are like an inch in diameter. You have to have trellises and tie these plants up because they will lay on the ground and the tomatoes will rot on the ground. They're so heavy. So you got to have trellises, these kind of spiral things that you put the vine up through the middle of the spiral and tie them up appropriately. Pomegranates, apricots, apples, oranges. We have people who raise every kind of crop you can think of: hay, wheat, apples, rice, you name it, soybeans. The crops are just going like crazy. Strawberries, fruit trees. The yields are up anywhere from 128 to 200%. It's an amazing thing. So the yields are just phenomenal using the Blooming Minerals. Now you can use it either in the liquid or the granules. It looks like coffee grounds. The granules look like coffee grounds. And you have a lot of personal experience with the coffee grounds. We actually sell the liquids, and they're kind of like the little quart spray things. You can use foliar feed. You can spray the leaves of plants, and plants will absorb these mineral nutrients in through the leaves. You can actually pour the liquid plant minerals around the outer limits of the plant leaves in the bush or shrub or vine, or you can run it down the row in between the plants around the outer limits of the limbs of trees. Or you can use, again, the granules. We actually have an enormous amount of experience with this as feed for animals in poultry and beef cattle, dairy cattle, in sheep and pigs. It's just an amazing thing that happens with animals just like it happens with people. And when it comes to production animals with eggs, milk, and meat, the production is up, and for like every $4 you spend in the Blooming Minerals, you get anywhere from another $50 to $100 to $200 worth of extra profit. So it's really a great investment and a better quality end product. And so you have your choices. And there's directions right on each of the bottles. And so I would urge people you can go online, you can read the directions on the bottles. But we have a lot of experience, and I can lead you to people who do this. They actually make a living just selling semi-loads of the finished product in bags by pallets of the 40-pound bags in 55-gallon drums of the liquid. And so we are really getting into the organic growing business because of this wonderful product. And the yields for farmers are just outstanding. So if everybody should have their own garden in their home, in their bathroom, their tub, grow their own tomatoes inside the house. It's very simple. Just leave a light on, or you can get these OTS lights that actually give the full spectrum lights for, say, 10, 12 hours a day. Use the foliar feed, or you can use the granules, either one. Just follow the directions in the bottle, and you will be blessed because you cannot fail to get optimal production when you use these plant minerals. And so I urge you to do that. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Call me as you're making your harvest, and you can apply it 4 times a year. I like to apply it 4 times a year. I'd start applying it now and get the soil impregnated, if you will, with these minerals. And then after you get your first sprouts an inch or 2 high, I'd apply it again. And then just before they flower, when the buds are coming up, I would spray it again. And then about, say, 30 days before your harvest, do it again. You'll get that last spurt of growth and production. Okay, everybody, wonderful testimonies. I mean, my goodness, the testimonies are just phenomenal. Thank you so much, Doug and Susan. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs, and God bless America.